Hello everybody, I'm Ernest. Today we're at the Lone Star Motorcycle Museum. I'm here with William and we're going to see some old motorcycles. I've been here once before. We're here in the Texas Hill Country, just outside of Los Maples Park. It's just like down the road that way about a mile or so. It's Maples Park, and they're just little bitty motorcycle a museum out here. The first time I came here, I talked to the guy, and he said it was a ex motorcycle racer who lives in this or behind, I think, this thing here, and he liked to restore bikes, and he opened up this museum. Let's go inside. So we're inside the exhibit. There's 63 bikes in here. It's a private collection. The guy that owns it actually lives behind the facility back here, and he retired back in, I think, say 99. Him and his wife. He's Australian, and he actually raced a bike. And actually, here's one of the bikes he actually raced. This one right here, and didn't actually start racing until he was 56. So I wonder how old is he now? He's got to be fairly old now.
76.
You know, it got to be more than that. But and he restores these bikes, and they live just behind here, and there's 63 of them, and they say only 3 of them do not run, that he just leaves them alone, but everything else is working. It runs. You can start it and run it. There's mostly British bikes in here because the guy being from Australia, I guess he favors the English. I really like this Vincent here, Vincent Comet. And on the back of each one, you'll see here 1970 BSA Rocket 3, 1951 Comet. Look at this old thing here. It's just a little single cylinder, made in France, 1930 Sawyer. Here's a BSA with a chrome gas tank, 1959, and a Triumph, 1950. Actually, Triumph. I don't know when they originally started, but this is a Thunderbird. They actually still were making the Thunderbird a few years ago. I don't know if they're still making them. Of course, they don't look like this anymore, but it's beautiful. A Norton, a 1939 Norton. Look at these gauges. These are really interesting. 1939 Norton. And like I said, this is one of his race bikes, and I guess this is him racing the bike. And he didn't start racing until he was 56. And he restored this one completely. This is a 1955 Venice Black Knight. I think I've seen this in some History Channel or something, but that is beautiful. It's completely covered where you can't see the engine or anything. Kind of reminds me of the Honda Pacific Coast. You ever seen that bike? Let's go over here to the oldest bike in the collection. It's a 1960 Royal Enfield. This is the oldest bike in the collection. 1916. A Royal Enfield. This is a lawnmower that's right next to it, just to remind the people that that's what they started off as making lawnmowers, and then eventually make into motorcycles. And the brand name is still around, although it's not no longer made in England. They're made in India, I think, or something like that. What is this thing? This looks really 80s. BMW. It is a 1981 Cruiser 1000. I don't remember this bike back then. A lot of memorabilia on the wall, and a gas tank and so on. This is an Indian scooter or moped or whatever name you want to call it. 1960 Cushman and a Norton. Ooh, check out this Indian. That thing is beautiful. He said the guy that owns this, he's an engineer also. That's his profession. And decided to make this museum out here in the middle. It's actually in the middle of pretty much nowhere. If you've ever been in this area, there's the Lost Maples gas station is about a mile one way, and the other way is the Lost Maple Park, which a lot of people might be familiar with. 1948 Vinson. Well, I didn't really stop and look at this Indian. What's this? 1924 Indian Chief. They're still making the Chief, although it's owned by Polaris, which is the same company that makes my Victory. And they dropped the Victory line and started the Indian, or they were actually making both the Indian and the Victory at the same time, but the Indian won out and they wanted to concentrate all their efforts on the Indian since it was more profitable. And I believe the the Victory wasn't making any money, or never made any money. I'm not really sure. 1960 Harley Davidson, 74 cubic inches. Wow. That's half of the size of my motor, although the bike's the same size. This is a Duro-Glide. I guess this is before the Road King. It kind of looks like a Road King. This one here is one of the three that doesn't run anymore, and this is a dirt tracker, I believe. And it's just the way it is just the way it is. You can see the tires are all just deteriorated, and it's cool. Seat's not on there no more. It's a 1946 Speedway Racer 500s single cylinder, 14 to 1 compression, methanol fuel, no brakes, no gears. That's how the dirt trackers are. I really like these Vincents. They're probably my favorite ones that I see here. The engines, I just like the way the engines are. This whole design is just very aesthetically pleasing. And that front wheel, I really favor the Vincents and the Indians. Oh look, what was the story on this one? I kind of knew the story on this one. I think this is a car engine. It's a 4-cylinder car engine, and they put them in the Indians, and it was a real smooth engine because at that time all they had was the V-twins, and Indians came out with an inline 4. But I want to say it's a car engine, but I can't remember what car it came out of. But it's a production bike. 1938. Nortons are very aesthetically pleasing too. And a real Bonneville. So what are you thinking there, William? What's your impressions?
A lot of foreign bikes, man. Or the Hondas.
Hondas?
Yeah.
There's only one I saw.
Foreign bike too.
Yeah, it's a foreign. Yeah, what the hell are you talking about? Wait a minute. And you got me looking for it too. It's like, yeah. Well, here's a Honda. Now, here's an interesting story. When I was a kid, we had a CB 350. This is a 750, but we had a 350, and this guy brought it to the ranch to get it repaired and didn't have enough money to pay us or pay my uncles. And so me and my cousin drove the shit out of it. And it was a 1970 or 71 Honda 350 CB. So this brings back a lot of memories.
1972.
But we actually had one of these at the ranch. Until finally one of you don't know Randy, but he bought it. He later became the mayor of Kennedy, but he bought it and he rode it around for a while. 1959 matchless G50 road racer. Ducati, that's a pretty modern bike there. The old Harley. What is this thing? Browse Superior. I don't even know what this thing is. Browse Superior. This seems to be a very high quality, well-made bike. And this is the team. I'm thinking this is the owner. I'm not sure. This is a beautiful bike. I don't know the story behind it though. Beautiful. Oh, 1938. How do you pronounce that, William? Braug Superior?
Yeah.
A Rolls Royce of motorcycles. Yeah, it looks like a Rolls Royce of motorcycles. It is. If you look at the detail, William, this is high craftsmanship. This is not like the other. Oh yeah, don't touch. I can't help it. This bike is beautiful. It's just every little thing is just. It is just immaculate. See how this is? How they made the bikes back here? Back then in the day, they had fenders, had hinges, so you can flip it over so you take the tire off to make it easier. This is something.
Oh, look at the saddlebags.
Yeah, I think these just for. Well, no, it's just for tools and stuff. It's put your cell phone in 1938. It's just for tools and stuff. Now back here is the workshop where they actually restore them, and you can actually see a bike in the distance back there. I think it's a Norton. I'm not really sure, but they do all their work here, and they have a lathe and drill press and all the different tools.
He works on his bike.
Yeah, or it's not just him. I'm thinking he's too old to do this anymore. I think he's got friends that do it. There's some old riding gear over there, as you can see. This is a pretty modern Harley, probably from the 90s or 80s. I'm not really sure. Anyway, if you ever find yourself out here, come on by. This thing is if you come out here to go to Los Maples, a lot of people come out here to Los Maples here in Texas. You go hiking. It's it's a nice place to go hiking. Come out here and stop at this Texas Motorcycle Museum, or I think it's called the Lone Star Motorcycle Museum. Oh, darn it, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, I really like this BSA. That tank is just beautiful. All the work on it and everything. The Norton motorcycle. Another BSA. Look over here. I'm making this video go on and on and on, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are a lot more knowledgeable about these bikes. I'm just admiring them just for the aesthetics, and I like old things. Anything in the museum. If you watch my channel, I'll go to museums, and I'm an active writer, and I do videos on that too. So please subscribe if that's something that you want to see. I really haven't checked this front row. Beautiful Nortons. There's just so many. Like I said, there's 63 of them in here. Only 3 of them don't run. I don't know. There's some kind of horn thing. I'm not really sure what that is. Norton Commander. Anyway, this is an overview of the museum, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. But if you're coming out to Lakey, going to Bandera, or to Los Maples, for sure, Los Maples is right next door. Stop by, and I'll see you next time.